Missionaries of Christ presents Reflections. Sunday Readings and Gospel. 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. First reading. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verses 10 to 14. If you obey the voice of the Lord your God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, if you turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. For this commandment which I command you this day is not too hard for you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that you should say, Who will go up for us to heaven, and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea, that you should say, Who will go over the sea for us, and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very near you, it is in your mouth and in your heart, so that you can do it. Second reading. Colossians chapter 1 verse 15 to 20. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation, for in him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or authorities, all things were created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. He is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in everything he might be preeminent. For in him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, making peace by the blood of his cross. Gospel reading. Luke chapter 10 verse 25 to 37. And behold, a lawyer stood up to put him to the test, saying, Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said to him, What is written in the law? How do you read? And he answered, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said to him, You have answered right, do this, and you will live. But he, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, And who is my neighbor? Jesus replied, A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him and beat him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own beast and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, I will repay you when I come back. Which of these 3, do you think, proved neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers? He said, The one who showed mercy on him. And Jesus said to him, Go and do likewise. Reflection. In this passage, Jesus tells the parable of the Good Samaritan in response to a question, Who is my neighbor? The story highlights a man who is beaten and left for dead, ignored by religious leaders but rescued by a Samaritan, someone considered an outsider by Jewish society. The Samaritan's compassion, generosity, and willingness to help reveal the heart of true love and mercy. This parable challenges us to look beyond labels, prejudices, and societal divisions. It reminds us that love is action, not just words. To follow Christ's command, we must extend mercy to anyone in need, regardless of their background or circumstances. Our neighbor isn't just the one we know or feel comfortable helping, but anyone placed before us who requires kindness. May we live with the heart of the Good Samaritan, seeing, responding, and loving as Jesus calls us to.